Hello and welcome to 168 Hours. I'm your host Malak Ahmad Fayaz, and it's an absolute pleasure to have you with us for another edition of our weekly roundup. The Maldives and the European Union (EU) signs an agreement to allocate $6.5 million to strengthen the nation's blue economy. The agreement was formalized during a meeting between Minister of Foreign Affairs Moussa Zamir and Deputy Managing Director of the European External Action Service, Paola Pampaloni. Speaking at the meeting, Minister Zamir expressed gratitude to the EU for its economic support and assistance in addressing the Maldives' economic and social challenges brought about by climate change. He highlighted the significant progress in Maldives-EU relations and acknowledged the advancements made by the Maldives in tackling climate change, strengthening the judicial system, and collaborating with the EU in combating terrorism. The EU is assisting the Maldives in various sectors. At the fifth meeting of senior government officials, the EU provided $4.9 million to enhance the rule of law and combat corruption in the Maldives. The European Union (EU) allocates $4.9 million to the Maldives to strengthen the rule of law. The assistance was announced during the fifth meeting of senior government officials from the Maldives and the EU held in Male City on June 2nd. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs stated that the assistance is part of a partnership agreement between the EU and the United Nations Development Programme (UNDP). The Maldives expressed gratitude to the EU for its support in enhancing the rule of law, transparency, and integrity of institutions through the Accountability and Integrity Matters AIM project. At the same meeting, the EU has also pledged $6.3 million to improve the management capacity of protected areas and to support the Maldives' efforts in biodiversity protection and sustainable natural resource management. During the fourth meeting, in June last year, the EU had committed to aid in the Maldives in strengthening the rule of law, transparency, and institutional integrity. The meeting also marked the launch of a 5-year EU joint program aimed at combating corruption and reinforcing the rule of law in the Maldives. Under the program, the EU will support judicial reforms in the Maldives, help develop robust legal frameworks to combat corruption, and enhance the capacity of relevant institutions. President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu conveys heartfelt felicitations to the Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the BJP and the BJP-led National Democratic Alliance (NDA) for their victory in the Indian general elections of 2024. The President expressed congratulations on a post shared on social media. Highlighting the BJP's win for the third consecutive term, President Dr. Muizzu expressed his optimism about working together to enhance the shared objectives of both countries in the pursuit of development and stability. Furthermore, Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif also forwarded his congratulations to Prime Minister Modi and his party for the noteworthy achievement. In the post shared on social media, the Vice President revealed hopes that bilateral ties would be further strengthened under Modi's leadership. While the BJP has achieved a significant success in the elections for the third consecutive term, Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the first person to serve as the Indian Prime Minister for 3 consecutive terms. Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi pledges to further strengthen relations between India and the Maldives. The statement came after President Dr. Mohammad Muizzu congratulated his coalition on its victory in India's general elections. In a social media post, President Dr. Muizzu extended his congratulations to Prime Minister Modi on the BJP and its National Democratic Alliance (NDA) win in the 2024 general elections, marking the BJP's third consecutive term. He expressed hope for continued collaboration between the two nations to promote development and stability. In response, Prime Minister Modi thanked President Dr. Muizzu for his message. He emphasized the close ties between India and the Maldives and expressed his desire to work together to further enhance bilateral relations. Additionally, Vice President Hussein Mohammad Latif congratulated Prime Minister Modi on his electoral victory. Modi extended his gratitude to the Vice President for his congratulatory message. Ministry of Finance reveals a surge in the government's revenue generated within the first 5 months of this year, which exceeds $959 million. The latest weekly fiscal report publicized by the ministry indicates that this contributes to an increase by $45.8 million in revenue in comparison to the revenue of $914 million generated within the same period in 2023. The fiscal report shows that the revenue comprises $784 million in tax revenue, $168 million in non-tax revenue, and $1 million in aid received. Tax earnings include import duty, business and property tax (BPT), goods and services tax (GST), as well as earnings from GST. The breakdown of revenue generation includes $71 million from import duties, $181 million from BPT, $453 million from GST, $32 million from green tax, $30 million from airport service charges and departure tax. Furthermore, the report reveals that the government spending has also notably reduced. Expenditures within the first 5 months of the year totaled $1.1 billion, with $889 million allocated to recurrent expenses and $226 million to capital expenditures. This represents a significant reduction in expenditures compared to the $1.2 billion spent by the government in 2023 during the corresponding time frame. Recurrent expenses covered $350 million for salaries and allowances and $525 million for administrative work. Meanwhile, capital expenditure primarily encompasses expenses related to structural development. Minister of Climate Change, Environment and Energy, Tariq Ibrahim, urges societal collaboration to achieve the overarching goal of the government to plant 5 million trees in the nation. The remarks were made by the minister during the ceremony held to officiate the project of planting 5 million trees commemorating World Environment Day. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Tariq revealed that a study had been conducted to identify the endangered species of plants in the nation. He underscored the nationwide scope of the campaign extending to resorts, industrial islands, and residential areas. Stressing the program's significance in preserving the environment for future generations, he urged local councils, businesses, and private entities to actively engage in the endeavor. While 22 various types of trees were planted to launch the significant project, decisions have been made such that a total of 90 different types of trees will be planted under the project. Minister Tariq unveiled plans to establish nurseries in 3 regions across the nation to facilitate convenient public access to trees. The minister further assured comprehensive dissemination of project details, including ongoing monitoring of tree growth. In addition to this initiative, plans are underway to launch a special program to plant an additional 5 million trees over the next 5 years. Minister Tariq reaffirmed the government's commitment to transition in the nation to carbon neutrality and implementing effective waste management practices. Ministry of Tourism reveals more than 900,000 tourists have visited the country so far. The latest statistics published by the Tourism Ministry show that a total of 904,000 tourist arrivals visited the Maldives till June 3rd, which is an increase of 10% compared to the 821,000 arrivals during the same period last year. The statistics show that a total of 192,000 tourists visited the Maldives in January, 217,000 arrivals in February, 194,000 in March, 168,000 in April, 119,000 in May, and 11,530 tourists by June 3rd. The latest updated report reveals that Chinese tourists constitute the largest portion of total tourist arrivals so far this year, with 102,000 visitors. Following China, Russia, the United Kingdom, UK, along with Italy and Germany, stand out as the next highest sources of tourists, with 91,600 and 85,840, 75,600 and 73,000 arrivals respectively. On average, each tourist spends approximately 7 days in the Maldives, with an average of 3,500 visitors arriving daily. This consistent influx has spurred the government to set an ambitious target of attracting 2 million tourists by year end. The government has affirmed that 25% of its tourism target has been achieved during the first 4 months of this year. First Lady Sajida Mohammed describes the Islamic University of the Maldives, IUM, as a historical haven that has recently brought revolutionary changes in Maldivian Islamic society. She made the remarks while speaking at the inauguration of the IUM graduation ceremony. Speaking at the ceremony, First Lady Sajida highlighted that the university established in the early 1980s serves as a vital institution built by numerous contributors across various fields. She also emphasized that many graduates from IUM have gone on to serve in diverse sectors. Additionally, First Lady Sajida noted that the IUM has significantly transformed Islamic society in recent years. She said that the university has produced professionals essential for the country's development, including medical doctors, architects, engineers, judges, lawyers, journalists, teachers, imams, writers, and speakers. Furthermore, First Lady Sajida underscored that true learning extends beyond obtaining a certificate and it encompasses developing abilities. She stressed the importance of interpersonal skills, communication, critical evaluation, and the capacity to make improvements. She urged graduates to remain faithful to the values instilled by the IUM and encouraged them not to discontinue their educational pursuits post-graduation. The Maldives and Sri Lanka discusses cooperation in the international arena. The discussions were held during a meeting held between Minister of Foreign Affairs Musa Zamir and Minister of Foreign Affairs of Sri Lanka Ali Sabri during his official visit to Sri Lanka. In his statement after the meeting, Minister Zamir thanked Sri Lanka on behalf of the citizens of the Maldives for its generous assistance to the development of the Maldives. He also mentioned the role played by Sri Lankan workers in the Maldives. Additionally, Minister Zamir said that the two countries have agreed to work together for sustainable development, peace, security, and progress in the South Asian region through regional platforms such as South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SAARC, and the Indian Ocean Rim Association, IORA. They also discussed the importance of working together to maintain the Special Economic Zone (SEZ) of the two countries, which both rely on fisheries. Furthermore, both ministers discussed key areas of special priority such as trade, education, fisheries, health, tourism, youth, and cooperation between the two countries in the international arena. Minister Zamir also reiterated the stand taken by both countries on the ongoing attacks on Gaza and expressed the hope that a permanent ceasefire would be achieved as soon as possible and humanitarian aid would be provided to the people of Gaza. Moreover, both ministers agreed that the Maldives and Sri Lanka are among the countries most likely to be affected by climate change and that more rapid and robust action is needed in mitigating the adverse effects of climate change. Minister of Environment, Climate Change and Energy Tariq Ibrahim emphasizes the crucial role of environmental and economic statistics in crafting policies for sustainable development. He made the remarks during the launch of the Developing National System of Economic Environmental Statistics and Accounts Agreement, which outlines the strategic use of such data in policy making in the Maldives. Speaking at the ceremony, Minister Tariq highlighted the interconnectedness of development projects and the future of the Maldives. He noted that these projects induce environmental changes that significantly impact the economy. He also stressed the need for accurate information to achieve sustainable development.
The importance of having high-quality data and statistics to inform decision-making is critical. Environmental policy decisions are quite complex as they involve considerations of several often competing aspects of priorities. Within Maldives, the responsibilities for environmental and economic policies are institutionally separate.
Meanwhile, Minister of Housing, Land and Urban Development Dr. Ali Haider Ahmad praised the comprehensive nature of the roadmap. He pointed out that it clearly delineates the responsibilities of various ministries and agencies, ensuring a unified effort towards common goals.
In an era where the interdependence between the economy and the environment is more evident than ever, the establishment of a robust system of environmental and economic statistics and accounts is crucial. This will provide a comprehensive framework that captures the intricate linkages between economic activities and environmental impacts.
The agreement signed by Ministers Tariq and Haider on behalf of their respective ministries sets both short and long-term objectives. It includes monitoring the economic damage caused by environmental issues and maintaining statistics on these changes. The roadmap aims to use the collected data extensively in policy formulation. The International Training Center ITC is in discussions with the government of Maldives to implement training programs in polytechnics. These discussions took place during the visit of Minister of Higher Education, Labour and Skills Development Dr. Maria Maria to Geneva, Switzerland. She is attending the 112th International Labour Conference and meeting with various international organizations. During her visit, she met with senior ITC officials under the International Labour Organization, ILO. The Higher Education Ministry announced that the ITC agreed to collaborate on conducting training and skill development programs in polytechnics and technical fields in the Maldives. Additionally, they agreed to provide further training for the staff of the Labour Relations Authority of the Maldives, LRA. This training will address problem solving in the work environment and workplace safety measures. The 112th International Labour Conference gathered representatives from around the world to discuss ILO principles and significant social and workplace issues. And that's all the news we have for our weekly roundup. Until next time, stay tuned.